Chapter 5. The Privy Council. In the 18th century, before the evolution of the cabinet, the Privy Council, or rather the King in Council, was a supreme executive body in the state. But as the cabinet system developed, the Privy Council has become less prominent. Many of its functions have been transferred to the cabinet, as an inner committee of the Privy Council, and to the newly created government departments. Still, the sovereign exercises his or her statutory powers with and through the advice of this council. Membership of the Privy Council. In present days the Privy Council consists of 111, about 300 members, of whom some are from the Dominions. Its members are the cabinet ministers, past and present, holders of important posts, such as the hired judges, the retired judges, a few colonial statesmen, 2 archbishops, and the Bishop of London, and persons who have achieved fame or eminence in literature, science, law and other fields of national life and service. The members of the Privy Council are known as Privy Councillors. They have the title of Right Honourable, and put after their names 2 letters PC, Privy Councillor. Once a man becomes a Privy Councillor, he remains so for the rest of his life. When a person becomes the member of Privy Council, he takes an oath of allegiance and the oath of secrecy, which binds him to keep secret all matters committed to reveals to him. Functions of Privy Council. The Privy Council performs different kinds of functions. Its first function is to administer the oath of office to the new members of cabinet, when a new ministry takes office. Secondly, the sheriffs are formally appointed by the Privy Council. Thirdly, the Privy Council as a whole meets to proclaim a new sovereign or his coronation ceremony, or when the reigning queen declares her intention to marry. But most of its functions are performed by 4 or 5 cabinet ministers in the name of the whole council. Most of the work of the Privy Council consists in issuing orders in council. For example, proclamation to summon and dissolve Parliament, orders relating to the government of Crown colonies, and orders concerning the grant of royal charter to municipal corporations and other bodies, orders concerning permanent civil servants, or dealing with the administrative affairs of the Channel Islands, wartime orders regarding neutral trade and blockade, and orders on subjects like health and education and regarding overseas territories are all issued by the Privy Council as orders in council. They are really executive orders and ordinances. The cabinet decides when and which of these executive orders ought to be issued in the form of orders in council. The Judicial Committee. There are some permanent committees of the Privy Council. Among them the most important is the famous Judicial Committee of the Privy Council. It is the highest court of appeal in certain legal issues, for Australia, New Zealand, Ceylon, and the colonies. Up to 1949, appeals from the courts in India, Pakistan, South Africa, and Canada used to go before the Privy Council. But these countries have now abolished the jurisdiction of this committee. It consists of the Lord Chancellor, ex-Lord Chancellors, Lords in Appeal and Ordinary, and such other eminent judges who have held high judicial offices in English, or in overseas courts. It gives final judgments on all appeals from ecclesiastical courts, and from the colonies mentioned above. The appellate jurisdiction of the Judicial Committee is derived from the principle of the English common law, which recognizes the right of the king's subjects to appeal for redress, if they believe that a court has failed to do them justice. The committee meets in the Downing Street. It hears appeals only in cases in which question of law is involved.